Okay, so I've done some more work to 4.16. Patch notes obviously are going to have the majority of the changes in it. I wish they'd fix these debug spheres already. Um, but today I got a little bored, decided to make a VR keyboard. I know I said it wasn't a big priority of mine, but I wanted one for the console, and I thought of an interesting way to make a procedural one, where instead of laying this out manually, I'm working it off of a data table with key sizes, key row layouts, and alternate and primary text and key events mapped to it. So it's using ftext, which should be localized. I mean, it should be able to be localized. So this should support making different layouts with different languages, characters, just by changing the data table and using a different one. Or if it's the same layout, just by localizing the text, it should be fine. But anyways, when it's created, it spawns each of the buttons off of the data table that it's set, sets their alternate values. Like, let me go into capital mode. It sets all the alternate values for the number keys, all the alternate capital values for the characters, and get out of number mode and it goes back. Shift, it's temporary, so if you're using both hands, you can hold shift and do it and let go. It exports events with key press. All the special characters have their own events, like Control, Alt, Shift, Enter, Backspace, and there's an escape. I don't have an escape on this keyboard. And all of the ones with their special events have a delegate that will fire out and you can bind to. And there's a generic character event that, when fired off, you turn the console on, will send that character was sent. So let me type in. Well, I got it mapped up to the console now, so this is more usable. So let me type in VR. So I'm in the VR menu, and I didn't put the arrow keys on, so I mapped controls to forward and up and down arrows for the console here. So I'll go up to VR.mirror mode, enter, and it tells me that I'm in VR mode 1 at the moment. If I want to do R dot, oops, screen percentage, I can go up to select it, space, set to 200. There, now we're in screen percentage 200, which is a damn sight nicer. It's just a widget component, which means it's compatible with my stereo layer widget component. And I have backface rendering on it because otherwise it's kind of annoying when you turn it around. It should scale correctly with everything, so you can, the little mini console you can type events into. And we still have the output log on here. So, I don't know, it's far more useful now, and I like how this keyboard works. The whole plan of the data table is not only that I can drive this 2D widget-based keyboard off of it and have it procedurally created, I can use the exact same logic with a 3D one with physical buttons that you can touch. So the plan is to extend it now to have a toggle where it'll either generate the widget version or it'll generate a 3D version with buttons that you physically press, and they'll both follow the same layout, and you could go back and forth between it. But I just wanted to get the basic logic working first and looking nice and see how it worked. And it's pretty nice. I like it. All right, so let me store the console away. All right, something else that I did was controller orientation. All the thumb pad orientation now for things like moving around by a controller, and what else is the thumb pad? Oh yeah, teleport. So teleport, I've implemented Epic's rotation teleport because I've been missing it, and I don't know, I just hadn't bothered yet. Teleport's not a big issue to me. And D-pad now uses a new rotation setting for where your thumb is on the pad. It generates a rotator directly off of the axes that you're touching, which wasn't very hard to do. In fact, I realized after I did it that I could have just copied Epic's implementation because they did the same thing. Physics objects are now scalable. I changed how how physical objects work with it, so that if it's in a scaling grip, it actually will set the object size now. So you can scale physics objects at will, and they will still collide with the world around them. So I mean, if you want a small gun or a really small gun, there you go. Oops. I also fixed a problem that I had with these snap points, where with scaling it was not scaling correctly to the right location on them, but it's good now. So I'm very happy with how snap points are working now. Another thing is I added a new movement mode, out of body navigation, which is basically just a teleport, except for you watch yourself walk forward first, and then you teleport to where your body is. So I mean, you can walk, and something that's kind of, where'd that gun go? I don't know. There's a gun. Something's kind of fun to do is to go and fire while you're walking. So I added some other things. It's in the patch notes for the plugin. I can't remember everything right now. I probably should take some time and do a stability pass. I mean, just let things work out for a while and see how many bugs there are. I overhauled a lot of the blueprints and the templates, so make them cleaner and easier to work with. And that introduced a few bugs that I fixed recently. So we'll see how that goes. And next big feature, I'm not sure. I put up a feature request line, Trello board that you can email directly into, and it'll make a card out of your email. Instructions are in the post and on the repository. I think the repository has it. So if you guys have any requests for something to add, you can put it in there, and I'll consider it. I mean, obviously the keyboard I originally said no to, but consider it now. All right. See it.